Hello and welcome to Sports Corner Neil. I'm Neil Roseanne, and it's March Madness. And yesterday was a good point of why, it's the madness. Duke losing, Missouri losing. There's no way that someone actually saw that happen. Well, there probably is. They probably just was like, oh, I want to make an upset bracket and put them through. Well, that's what happened. And wow, gotta give it to Norfolk State and Lehigh, really putting up some fights. Ohio, MAC represent. They could go into the Sweet 16, I think, but we'll have to see. And with that, I'm going to start you off with today's picks, then give you tomorrow's, so then we'll know the Sweet 16. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start at the top of the South, where I'm just going to run through all the games here. And first is Kentucky, Iowa State. I picked both of these teams to get through, and I picked Kentucky to get through. Great shot blocking. They'll be able to play out on the three line, get some blocks there, get some blocks down low, and they're explosive. Definitely a favorite for the national championship. Still see that happening. Kentucky. VCU, Indiana, Shaka Smart. I picked both of these two teams, Shaka Smart and his team. VCU, they made a run last year. I don't think they can do it again. Indiana is just suffocating as a Big Ten team. They'll play some hard defense. I don't think VCU has it in them again. Indiana goes to the Sweet 16. Colorado versus Baylor. Picked both of these teams. Colorado, Pac-12, Baylor, Big 12. They both used to play at one point, and I still see Baylor winning. Colorado's the hot team, but I don't think they can beat Baylor. Baylor's just too explosive on the offensive end. Xavier and Lehigh. It was just the last of the games in the South region. Didn't pick either team. I probably should have picked Xavier. Xavier's a really good team, and I see them beating Lehigh. I can't take a 15 twice, and Xavier's just one of those dark horses to get to the Sweet 16 every year. I never pick them, and I should learn my lesson by now, but I haven't. Now on to the West, where we have MSU taking on St. Louis. Picked MSU, messed up on St. Louis. That'll be okay, though, because MSU's going to balance it out in the end. They will win handily. Draymond Green, just too big of a presence for St. Louis to contend with MSU. New Mexico versus Louisville. New Mexico I didn't pick. I thought Long Beach State had them, but once again, Louisville looked a little bit shaky against Davidson. I have New Mexico in this game. Louisville, I think, ran out of gas in the Big East tournament. Like, it's not going to be a UConn where they spurred on. I got New Mexico in that one. Murray State versus Marquette. This is the third game in the West, and I picked both, and I got Marquette. Marquette plays in the Big East. They're strong. They got some great guys down low. They'll be able to take care of a Murray State team who destroyed a Colorado State team, but Marquette, I just see them winning right now, and I still see them winning come game time. And we got Florida versus Norfolk State. I didn't pick Norfolk State, unfortunately, but, I got to go with Florida again. They're starting to heat up, and everyone might want to take notice. I could see them getting to the Elite Eight, Final Four. Scary team. I have Florida. And that's it for the left side of the bracket, which is the South and the West regions. Now on to the East and the Midwest. Recap here. Kentucky, Indiana, Baylor, Xavier, MSU, New Mexico, Marquette, and Florida are all teams I got in the next round. And now we're on to the East and Midwest parts of the bracket. And we're going to start with the East, where we have Syracuse and Kansas State University. Picked both of those teams. I still see Syracuse, though they got really close with UNC Asheville. UNC Asheville is actually a really better team than I think the ranking suggests. And, Syracuse, I still see them winning. And KSU, I just got a notification on my iPad. They lost one of their key players. Can't remember his name at the moment, but they lost him. So, I got to go with Syracuse. I feel like Jim Boeheim really chewed him out, and they'll get back on track. Vandy versus Wisconsin is the next one, and I picked both of those teams. And I have Wisconsin in this one. Their pace is what really dictates. I feel like they're going to be able to dictate the game, and with that, they're just going to cruise on and go to a hard-fought win, but they'll still win. FSU versus Cincinnati, And I got Cincinnati, a hot team at the moment. They went to the Big East Tournament Championship, and with how they rolled over Texas, how Florida crawled over St. Bonaventure. Got Cincy. So that is the one upset of the day, you could say. Gonzaga versus OSU. I sadly did not have Gonzaga. That is the only blemish on this side of the bracket, though. But I have OSU, just Jared Sullinger, all those guys. They are just going, the Big Ten, once again, in a league of its own, I believe, at the moment. And Gonzaga, I don't think they're going to be able to contend with a good team like Ohio State. Now on to the Midwest, where we have North Carolina versus Creighton. Didn't have Creighton, had North Carolina. And I just see North Carolina winning with how they just destroyed Vermont. It's going to continue. They are on a mission. USF and Ohio, I had neither team. I leaned towards USF, but took it back and went to Temple. USF did not play too... they didn't come out so hot. Neither did Temple. So I still see a young MAC Ohio team. They are going to be able to get it done. They'll be able to score more. So obviously they're going to win. That was like my little old John Madden thing there. The team that scores more points is going to win the game. Well, that's exactly what just happened. Ohio, I have them in the Sweet 16. MAC represent. Let's go. NC State and Georgetown is the next game. Didn't have either teams. I was hot on the Baylor Bears. Baylor Bears didn't bail me out. So I'm going to jump on Georgetown. They're going to beat NC State. Georgetown came out pretty good, I would say. So, yeah, and they play. Just feel like Georgetown's going to win. They get better team. Then we have Purdue and Kansas. I didn't have Purdue, but I had Kansas. And Kansas, once again, national championship contender. Purdue, one of the lower tier Big Ten teams. It'll be close, but I got Kansas. I feel pretty confident in that. So that's the picks with that, and we're gonna have a little recap of that, and then I will have a recap of all so far, how I'm doing. See you then. A quick recap: I have Syracuse, Wisconsin, Cincy, Ohio State, North Carolina, Ohio, Georgetown, and Kansas. Well, just tallied up the numbers, and I'm having kind of a rough start with this bracket instead of my own. 20 of 32 out of the round of 64 on games, not too good. But on the playing games, on the other hand, I went 3 for 4, so that has a grand total of 23 and 13. Need to improve today and tomorrow, so hopefully you're enjoying all these games. Hopefully your bracket isn't too busted from what I see from other people's. It probably is. But anyway, enjoy today's games. See you later. Sports According to Neil Roseanne. See ya.
SportsAccordingToNeil.blogspot.com, man. You need to go there, man. Yeah.